Alright guys, today we're going to open up and shoot the Seljan Stylus, the Mark Seljan Stylus made by SimpleShot. I think this is a really underrated frame for a few reasons. I'm going to go through what you'll get in the package, what it looks like when you open it up. I actually made my own band set because I'm going to shoot 1/4 inch ammo, which are very, very small light ammo. I really have been enjoying shooting 1/4 inch steel lately, so I'm going to put the band set that I made on for that. I'll talk to you about the specs on those bands as well. Let's go to it. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the package here. And when you do have questions about it, we have a ton of QR codes on all this stuff. So you'll be able to scan these QR codes and figure out, take you to the website, take you to the customer service, and you'll be able to get any questions that you have answered with ease. Target for you with some info, how to set up your bands. These are the clay bands and the steel bands that come with. You get a couple of cool stickers, including the SimpleShot and Seljan stickers. That's a nice touch. This is for your wrap and tuck. Don't throw this stuff away. I've made that mistake before. Of course, the frame, I mean, right off the bat, you can see just how thin that is. I mean, it is so thin, paper thin. It might be the thinnest frame we sell. Feels great in the hand, though. It's kind of a sideways swell, so it really fills up that portion of your hand right there. Yeah, I like that a lot. SimpleShot logo on one side, Seljan logo on the other. Some more info. And your ammo. So you got clay ammo, you got steel ammo. So the clay band and general purpose bands are meant to shoot the clay ammo and steel ammo respectively. Now, I've been shooting 1/4 inch steel for the past few weeks, and I'm having a ton of fun with it, and I want to keep that going. So I brought my own band set that I made with the .4 SimpleShot latex. Now, I got the roll, I cut my own bands. I like a 20 to 12 taper, and a BB pouch. This is the large BB pouch. It's very good for 1/4 inch, very good for 8mm steel. I really like these pouches. The center hole is very small, so there's no chance of those 1/4 inch steels leaking out of there. So we're going to use our Roxxon tool, specifically the scissors, and then we're going to take our wrap and tuck material, the band tape. We're going to unravel about 10 inches of it or so. Cut that. We'll do that again here. Cut that. And that's what we're going to use to wrap and tuck. Alright, there we go. Give it a few tugs, kind of away from the face at first. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is going to work great. Let's go shoot it. I got one of our pheasant heads here. I'm going to stake it up in the ground. Take a few shots at it. So, right at about 10 yards right here. And I'm not expecting the 1/4 inch steel to make much of an impact on it, but I think we'll still be able to tell when I hit it. So I missed just low. Let's go a little higher. There it is. Dead center. Nice wobble. I mean, obviously it's moving around a lot, but there we go. Get on target pretty quick. Nice. See if we can get 5 in a row. That's 4. And I turned the head, so now it's facing away from me. There we go, 5 in a row. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to know the spec on these, and I'm going to give that to you here. The fork width from tip to tip is 90mm, which is a very common fork width preference among pro slingshot shooters. The fork tip from edge to edge is 24mm. So you can fit pretty wide bands on these, maybe set it up for hunting or something. The thickness is where the stylus is really going to shine through, because at the thickest part, which is here, it's only 14 millimeters, and it tapers down this way, and the forks are much thinner this way. So the thickest part is 14 millimeters, just over a ½ inch. This thing is going to slide in and out of your pocket super easily. You won't even notice it's there. It also comes in 5 colors. I'll show a little infographic here. And those 5 colors are a little different from the standard SimpleShot roster. Always wear eye protection. So even though SimpleShot sells a ton of targets, like our new spinner targets, these are some of the best I've ever used. One target that slingshot shooters generally never tend to get tired of is a good old can. So about 10 meters out there, I have a can set up, hanging from the tree, and we're going to take a few shots at it. Lanyard, of course, for safety purposes, and always wear eye protection. It's important. I knocked the can right off the string. Well, let's go reset that up. All right, here we go. You can see right there where your middle finger wants to be. It's carved out perfectly so that it fits just in there. And then the bulb really fills in the palm of your hand right there. Super comfortable. Going with these very, very small steel balls and the very thin pouch that's very small and thin bands, it really makes it easy to aim down to your target without having to struggle against the bands very much. Piece of cake. You get on target super fast, nice sharp fork tips. And the part that's carved out here can make it a nice pinch grip too. Let's shoot like that once, just to demonstrate. Easy. So I picked up the thermoplastic version of the stylus in black because my thought process was sort of that I want it to be sleek, and I want it to be stealthy, and I want it to fit in my pocket. I don't want to know it's there, so I wanted it to be extra light, and I think that the thermoplastic lends itself to that sort of system. But for the pros out there, we do offer the stylus in a pro version, and it'll come with clips on there, but the clips are also very thin, so it does add a little bit of bulk to the fork tips, but not a huge amount, and it'll make it so that when you slip your bands in there and clamp them down, you won't have to worry about doing the whole wrap and tuck thing. I'm going to take a few more shots at the pheasant head for you and give you my final thoughts while I'm shooting it. As a side note, if you guys haven't tried BBs or 1/4 inch steel with the BB pouches, you're missing out. It takes a lot of concentration to get it to slip out of your hands properly, and I think it's helping to clean up my release as well. Whew, a nice hit. All right. I'm a fan of very thin forks. I like the way I can manipulate them in my hand a lot, but typically I like bigger palm swells, and though this doesn't have a swell necessarily, the outer edges sort of make up for that. That would be something that's hard to describe what I mean by that unless you were holding one. That was a headshot right off the dome. Yeah. I could shoot like this all day. Alright, so what are my final thoughts? Well, if you like the extra thin slingshot, something that's super pocketable, lightweight, I do think that this is one of the underrated slingshots that we sell. I would go get you one if you haven't already. Get the pro version if you want the clips or a little bit of extra weight. I love it. I'm going to shoot it a lot more often. Thanks for watching again, and if you have any questions, reach out. We're here to help. with any of your slingshot related needs. Go get you a Seljan.